You already are the oldest president in history, and some of your staff say you were tired after your most recent encounter with Mr. Mondale. I recall yet that President Kennedy had to go for days on end with very little sleep during the Cuba Missile Crisis. Is there any doubt in your mind that you would be able to function in such circumstances?
Not at all, Mr. Truitt, and I want you to know that also I will not make aid an issue of this campaign. I am not going to employ.
I figured we'd go up because I'm going stir crazy working out. Just up the road from me, about 20 minutes off the 15 freeway, up to the Santa Rosa Plateau. And as you can see behind me, the Polo Grounds. And if you saw the video, title of this video, Ronald Reagan once owned 780 acres up here. Now, he's got a home for sale that he never lived in because he never developed it. He sadly passed away. But it's 30 acres, 3.8 million, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, on a well and a lake with horses. And I'm going to show it to you. It's kind of cool. But look at that. I think Ronnie would be proud. I know Frank Sinatra would. The Polo Grounds being developed up here in TENAJA. And actually right over there, you just go down and make the left to where the horses are currently grazing, is where we're going to go, to Ronnie and Nancy's home.
I must say that when this program was being planned, the producer hadn't decided what political figures would participate. It was a choice between me and Governor Brown, and I lost again.
It's pretty nuts. Go figure, I'm all the way up here and I found the weed eater guy out of all this vast open space. This is just beautiful. Well, we made it up to Reagan Ranch. I didn't even know if I was going to do a video on this. I didn't know what I would find, what to expect, but look at that. Reagan Ranch. It's pretty cool and pretty dang peaceful. I mean, Reagan, you know, in my lifetime, I knew him as, well, the first president. I was 84, about 5, 6, 7 years old. So when he was president, that's what I knew him as. I didn't know him as the actor. I didn't know him as the governor. I knew him as, well, the president. He's got some horses. I got to figure he would love to see the way this turned out. It's just beautiful. Quite a few horses out there too. And the rocks. And I was looking at the overview. There's a lot of water up here that goes off of like a spring well, and that's the house down there on the left. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, I believe. Nothing was developed here though when Reagan owned it. We'll get into that soon enough. So here is the house that is currently for sale. That is just an awesome, awesome house. And I want to hop out, but there's a dog right next to my car, and I don't know if he's friendly, but it's right on the water. We'll go around and show as many views as we can and talk about it a little bit more, but wow, what a cool house. And this was supposed to be the retirement home for Ronnie and Nancy. This is really a cool, cool house. They have a little porch swing by the lake there. And I'll have to show you the other house too across the way here. But that's a pretty good size developed waterfront view. I mean, especially for up here where we're at. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's the dog I was talking about. So the ranch formerly owned by Ronald Reagan. This is actually Marietta. It falls under the La Cresta area. And like I said, it was 2-bedroom, 2-bath. 30 acres, 1,500 square feet for the house. It's a cabin, well, cabin style. And known locally as a ranch, one owned by the Reagans. So this was going to be their spot. It is such a cool area up here. They got the horses next door. Let me see what I can show over here too. Just the Nice little waterfront. They would have had their privacy. I'm really digging this house. I want to live here. This is the spot for me. I am content. So I was just watching the horses out here and enjoying the peaceful Friday afternoon. There's huge mansions up here. I mean, really well-to-do. And I got to figure all this area where these people live were also part of his property, because he owned a total of 778 acres up here. So him and Nancy were really, really onto something. Between 1967 and 1976 is when he owned this property. That's so interesting to see this. I love it. So I'll go back down the road this way. It looks like the dog, he's just a barker. He seems pretty friendly, but one thing I did want to point out, this is for sale. It's 30 acres, 3.8 million. And you can actually have a runway up here, so you can fly out of here. That's so cool looking. Just beautiful. So it does also have an FAA approved private runway too, in case that's your thing. Looks like somebody's been chopping some wood. All right. There's bison crossing. And the reason why they have the bison crossing, I believe, is this was formerly known as Buffalo Ranch. Glad to see the dog went inside. That means I'm safe for now. Nope, there he is. So here's a couple screenshots that I found. And sadly, when I found these screenshots, this house is no longer for sale. It sold in 2025, and it sold for 2.8 million. But here's the few shots that I could find for you guys.
Well, you've probably gathered by now, I think Frank Sinatra would make a fine president. But I don't know whether we can get him to run. Is it worth it if you have to give up being a king?
The road is closed. I would like to see where this goes, but it looks like there's an area back here for equestrian. And I believe there was somewhere around here polo grounds. Now, I've done Ronald Reagan's house in Palm Springs. Been to his library up in Simi Valley. I don't think I did a video there yet that I still need to do. Let me look over here. This might be a private house. But just to give an idea of, yeah, it's more, whoa. I'll show you this house too. This house is crazy. To give an idea, it's off Clinton Keith Road, traveling north or south. If you're traveling north up to 15, you go left off Clinton Keith towards the ocean, okay? So you head west. You can just come up here and drive around and see some of these houses. This place is really developed from what I remember it. But I want to show you this house, and then I'm going to head back down the hill. I got to head back home. I got a couple things to do. Got to see Ronnie's house. Well, I hope you liked it. I did, Gipper. That was cool, man. What a cool house. If anybody has 3.8 million, it'd be a sound investment for you and me. For us to give a peek of the size of homes up here. Look at this mansion. My gosh. Holy smokes, that's huge. All right, let's go. I was just thinking, what YouTubers do I know that have this sort of money that can afford this house? PewDiePie, that's who. PewDiePie, you need to leave Japan and come on out here. Look at this, a perfect 2-bedroom home. So cool, have it right on the waterfront. My friend with the weed eater's back. If that guy's doing this whole lawn with a weed eater, he's gonna be here. Might as well bust out a pair of scissors, but okay. So I wanna kind of focus in a little more on just the property. And as I was leaving, I was thinking about the property. So this area with these springs and these horses and everything else around here is 30 acres. So if Ronnie owned 780 acres of this land, my gosh, he owned the whole place up here. That's wild to think about, just even grasp, but Now you know I have YouTube TV, and YouTube TV goes into like, instead of showing commercials, it'll show you some Zen, like a nice picture. Here's my Zen moment. I'll shut up. I was just looking, there's a tower of some sort up there where this Rivian just passed me. Tim tracker? I'm gonna go this way and see how close we can get to that. That might be worth checking out for sure. We still have a little bit of sunlight left, so I better get heading. Zoom out. Can I just say that I am so pleased that I found a way to drive up here. I mean, it was a public road, so I was able to come up here, but I made it. And wow. Hold on. There's a dog sign here, another dog sign. I can reach this fence in 2.3 seconds. How fast can you run is what that says. Well, as long as he doesn't come through the fence, I'm not worried. Is that an old fire tower, like a lookout tower? That's what I thought it would be, right? Or is that for satellites? Or not satellites, for internet. It could be for that as well. Looks like there's a truck out there in the distance. I mean, I'm not gonna cross the wall. I just wanted to come up here and get a view of that, but there it is. And it's a one-lane road up. The road is pretty dang sketchy, but somebody's been doing some landscape, so that's nice. And this is private property, so maybe they got something planned here. No trespassing, no soliciting. It would be nice if somebody was here. Say hello. There's a fire hydrant. But wait till you see the view of the surrounding area. I think maybe we could see the Pacific Ocean. A pond here and trash bins. I really wonder what that is. Well, let me scroll up. That's cool. There's a boat up here. I don't know why there's a boat up here. Here's another view from the side. I was able to drive around. They had an open area over here, but yeah, crazy looking. That sign that's with the German Shepherd on is enough to keep me away from that fence. Plus, it's private property. I'm not going to go there anyways, but I would like to see if you can see the Pacific. I mean, it shouldn't be that far. Maybe around the corner. We'll take a look. That's that now. Out that way. I can't tell if that's a house or maybe just something. Wow, I can really hear. That said, the radio waves coming off that I don't want to hang out here too long or are not recommended for human. But yeah, you can really hear it. But look at this valley. Wow. And down there is the Reagan. That's the road we came in. That's the road we came on. Bunch of houses out here. This is just amazing. And can you hear that? It's like a weird humming sound. Thank goodness I don't have a pacemaker. And all this like lava rock up here too. Wanted to show you the road I got to go down and to go up to get here. Well, it's a one-lane road, so I don't think they're expecting much company. But out there in the distance, that's the Temecula Valley. Got Palomar off to our right over there. And then straight ahead would be, well, Wildemar and Marietta. And then as we go over this speed bump for whatever reason, they decided to put in here. This area and out there is towards Elsinore. Looks a little cloudy out there today. Thank goodness I have all-wheel drive and good brakes and tires. I don't know how this translates, but I'm on a pretty major curve that just goes over if you're not paying attention, which is kind of scary. And then out here, look at this valley. You can see where it was once probably all just covered in water. Oh my gosh. Some beautiful homes up here, that's for sure. But yeah, if you're not paying attention on this road, there are no guardrails to keep you safe. Got some quail over there running around. Seen nothing but quail and what was the other thing I saw? Lots of rabbits around here, but this hill, we're still at a pretty good elevation. It's pretty cool. Plenty of oak trees. This fence is awesome. Took some time. With that being said, whoa, I am close. Now I am par. With that being said, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Just want to do a video today, get out. I was working from home. I'm just going a little stir crazy. I got some stuff planned this weekend. Gonna get out of town a little bit. Got a trip coming up next week. Getting out of state. Looking forward to it. This is cool. So if you ever want to come up here, Santa Rosa Plateau, TENAJA Ranch area, you just get lost in here for the day. Bring a lunch, man. Pull over on the side. It's cool. There's a visitor center. I did a hiking video here. That was tough, but yeah, I'm really enjoying this. There's so much to see, and it looks like it's really getting developed. So if you're like me and hate it when you find somewhere cool and then everybody else moves in, this is not the place for you because it is filling up fast. That's for sure. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time. Just listen to the sounds of the wild up here. As the sun begins to fall on the Friday night and the frolicking begins with all the wild animals. And it's going to be quite a night for them. And thank goodness it's not 100 degrees right now. If you want this piece of land, 39705 Redonda. Little extra footage. I wanted to see if I could go and just look. I headed out as far as I could, kind of west. This is the final road. It is a little too gloomy today. So this is the last road that's paved. I got to figure, or unpaved. I got to figure this will be paved in no time. But out that way, I bet on a clear day, you can definitely see the Pacific Ocean. Absolutely beautiful. This is so cool. I can see why a lot of people want to live up here. Just want to be here when a fire. But I mean, hey, they do a pretty good job out in California. They know how to handle it. Yeah, I might have to come back here and do a hike and just see how far this goes. Just kind of do the roads. I mean, maybe into Fallbrook, because Fallbrook would be out that way and then Oceanside. I can't tell if that's water out there. It might be. Anyways, all right. I'm out of here.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Tear it down. Reagan smash! Reagan smash!